Hah? Allah doesn't like those who are, haughty, and they believe. It's given by. Don't agree. Oh my God. I to you when you become